Welcome to another edition of the Finance Rebel Show. I've been gone for a little bit, y'all, but we'll talk about that. I've got a great guest with me today. I don't know if many of y'all know this, but I am really interested about traveling the world. If you've been on my show before, watched me before, you know I've been talking about that a lot. My goal is to become a digital nomad. But today, in my pursuit of that, I brought my homegirl Nia on. And we're going to talk about Nia traveling around the globe and building financial freedom all at the same time. Because Nia is also a money coach. So we can talk about taxes. You know, I do a little money coaching. She's full-fledged money coaching, but she's going to share with me all about how she does it. So let's bring Nia on. Oops. How you doing, lady?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm a little rusty.
Yeah, we gotta get you together. We gotta get you together today.
Yes. I've been going for a couple of weeks. Tax season was here.
Mm-hmm.
My son had a trip to Texas for his robotics championship.
Oh yeah.
A couple of emergencies like last week. Listen, life's been lifing. So
I was gonna say life has been lifing.
Yes. So I've been away, but I'm here now. I'm back now. So, you know, you're going to get more shows from me and more content. But how are you?
I'm good.
All right. So I brought Nia on because Nia travels everywhere and I'm so jealous of her. So I was hoping she can give me some jewels.
You don't have to be.
Okay. But she goes to Carnival every year without fail. And I won't show any of her pictures. I don't know if she wants us to show her pictures. But she's got all the stuff on. All the regalia.
I mean, I posted. I don't think I posted this year, but I mean, I post my costume. That's like the only time you will see me with any type of content like that is my carnival costume.
She's got mud on and all decked out.
Oh yeah, that's from Juve. Yeah, Juve is a time. I enjoy.
Now where is that at?
So Juve is it is the celebration of bringing in carnival. So Juve typically starts at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and it goes until like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And that's when they throw paint. Some throw mud, and different things.
And what place is that in? What location?
So I go to the one in Trinidad, but they have them all over Jamaica.
I thought you went to like St. Martin's. You go to Trinidad, Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. I thought you went
somewhere. That's the mother of all carnivals.
Yes, it is. Yes,
exactly.
It
is. They just had one in Atlanta this past weekend.
I didn't know that.
New York is Labor Day weekend. Barbados and Grenada is August. Jamaica is April. St. Lucia is July. Like everybody has their, well, not everybody, but a lot of different countries. And Toronto has one the beginning of August called Carolina.
Right? Yeah, Carolina. Yep, I've heard of that one.
So a lot of people have, carnivals and Juve, and it's all a part of the celebration. It's a celebration.
Okay. So tell me something.
I was gonna say you're all rooted in from slavery, though, right?
I figured that because I know Juve means something.
So basically, back in the day when the French was reigning, they didn't allow the slaves to attend their events and their parties. So they dressed up in costumes to imitate them, and that's how a lot of those traditions started. And throwing the paint in the mud, that's what they had. They had paint and mud. So that's what they threw. So it started then as a way for them to celebrate themselves because they wanted to party too. Like we want to have fun. We want to, enjoy. And so all of the parties at Trinidad, they call them fêtes, which is a French word for party.
Okay. You are educating me already. Okay. Well, before we get going, because once I get going, I can't stop. Let everybody know who you are, what you do.
Oh, I guess that's important.
Yes. Listen, y'all, do me a favor. I'm asking y'all a favor. I promise I will help her grow her YouTube channel.
We struggling, y'all. Struggling.
She ain't struggling. She ain't working it.
Wow.
She doesn't. I'm trying. Some tips. She ain't did nothing what I told her to do. Matter of fact, we were in New Orleans one time, and I spotted a rat.
Yeah, I'm
And I
not.
was like, record that. We missed it though, so we couldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with missing filming the rat. That's what was at we was at Cafe Du Monde too, weren't we?
Well, I wouldn't give out the location, but yes, we
Yeah.
were at Cafe Du Monde.
But it wasn't in the restaurant, so
It
it
was
was
outside.
outside in
Yes.
the alley. Okay,
Yes.
so let's
Yes.
let that be clear. It was nowhere in the restaurant, nowhere near our tables. We were looking outside the restaurant.
Okay.
You gotta make sure that's clear.
Okay. All right. Well, tell the people who you are. And before you get going, everybody check it in.
Oh, congratulations, Lisa.
Let me see.
Lisa just got monetized today. Come through.
Oh, congrats.
Okay.
Congrats.
Come through. Tell him the struggle is real.
Congrats.
That's
The
awesome.
struggle is real, but you can get there. I believe in you.
I'm gonna work on it. I am.
Okay. All right. So y'all know the deal. Come in, introduce yourself, tell me where you're hailing from. And with that said, Leah, let us know how you got started. You're a money coach and a world traveler. How does that happen?
So my name is Nia, creator and founder of Perspectives. And what I do is simple. I take women from struggling and stress to empowered about money by helping them release the shame associated with money mistakes and just transform their spending habits so they could achieve financial stability. I started doing it because of my own fumbles and ebbs and flows and ups and downs. I kept hitting the ground when I kept trying to improve my finances, and I realized that it was because I was just following the steps. I wasn't being intentional about finding out why I spent money the way I did. Why did I use money the way I did or think of it in that way? So it took a lot of bumps on my head, like not gonna lie. But what made me start my business is throughout all those years, through evictions, bankruptcy, I was a single mother at the age of 17. So through all of that, what made me start my business is because I went through a lot of that alone. I felt ashamed to tell people what was going on with me or to share my struggles with others or to, just vent to somebody else because I was ashamed of what I was doing. I felt like, oh, well, I'm supposed to be here at this age and, I'm supposed to do this. And it's like, well, how are you supposed to know? You never really received any financial education growing up. Oh, thank you. So that made me, when I started to get it together, finally, all my friends started to come to me and ask questions. And that was my first epiphany that let me know, like, oh, you're not the only one. Like, you're not on an island. Other people need to learn about money too. And it's like, oh, so I didn't want someone else to have to go through this struggle and go through this journey fixing their finances because it's not like this. It's like this. So you need support and you need somebody to go to talk to about these things. So I specialize in creating safe spaces to have real money conversations, like typically informal, very conversational, because I feel like that helps you feel more comfortable about it. Travel, I just fell in love with. I didn't travel when I was young. I put myself on my first plane at the age of 23. I put myself on my first plane. So I hadn't, and I went straight to Jamaica. Like I didn't go to Louisiana. I didn't go to Miami.
You didn't go to Miami.
My first flight, I went straight to Jamaica and then just fell in love, one, learning the truth, because a lot of times you go to other countries and you tell them what you heard in that raggedy history book and they tell you what? Like, who told you that? And then you taste good food that they don't have to call organic. They just call it food because their food is naturally organic and you can eat it and you don't have to, eat morsels and eat like a rabbit in order to avoid being, heavily overweight. So all those things made me wanted to learn more and explore different places. And I just fell in love with travel. And then being a money person, of course, I know how to travel on a budget.
Now we got to get into that, but I got to ask you, you said you learned some of the truths. What were some of the truths you learned?
So like the story of the Bay of Pigs with Cuba. Yes.
Heavy.
Yeah, I've been to Cuba twice. So
you about to get me in trouble.
Why?
No, because every time real story. I took a class, I forget which class. I had to do a report on Cuba. I got an A on it. I had no idea because all I heard was American propaganda. I had no idea how the Bay of Pigs was really the US's fault. It
Yes,
wasn't Cuba's fault. It was
exactly.
the US's fault. They attacked. And
Correct.
then anytime I talk about that, everybody wants to go into their anti-Castro thing, but there's so much context and layers to that story.
Correct.
And you're not going to get it from U.S. news at all.
Absolutely not. Because essentially what I was told is they had a factory where they were producing their prime resource. And the US came in like, this our building. We're going to take over your factory that you producing your natural resource. Because, you know, that's what we do. And
That's what they do.
right. But that's what they do. And Cuba was like, yeah, nah, that's not gonna work for us, buddy. Nah, can't let you do it, man. Can't let you do it, my buddy. And that's where the conflict started.
Well, I mean,
it's not maybe started, but that's a huge part of it. Them coming
yes.
in, and they took over and they built a building that's models the Capitol. They built a San Jose market there to you know, mimic what was here, as if to say like, we're staking claim here, you know, this is ours. So if you go there, they have a San Jose market. They have a building that's made a replica of the Capitol building, which was
no, but I mean, like, even if you go back to the Batista era before 58, like U.S. companies and other organized crime were running rampant over there, but nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that. So I'm a big history buff.
I know.
Everybody here that watches me, well, yes, you know. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
Hey, I have no problem with it. I love, like, I'm that person when I go to these other countries. I do have fun and I do, you know, fun things, but I'm typically going to go on a tour that's educational. I'm going to ask them questions about like their resources, their economy. I ask all those type of questions every country that I go to. Of course, I can't remember all of them, but I learn a lot of very interesting facts.
Right. I mean, because one of the things I want to do, I do want to become a digital nomad, meaning
I do too.
There's no reason why I'm stuck here in the United States with all this craziness. And there's so many other Black countries that are doing great things, whether it's Cuba, Brazil, Colombia, even parts of Mexico, right? And
I was just in Mexico.
Yeah, I got to stay here with this. And, there's other things out there. So that's the plan. That's why
that's my plan too. That is my plan too.
Okay. So you learned some facts. Now you're a money coach. How do you finance these trips? How do you do it?
So the way that,
that.
Oh, of course. The way that I finance my trips is, for one, I'm a professional stalker. I am not gonna stalk no dude, but I will stalk the hell out of a flight. Me and Google Flights, we go together real bad. I set up alerts and it'll email me and let me know. And so what my job is to make sure that I have a travel fund. So at any given point, 365, I have a set amount of money coming out of my check going straight to my travel fund. So when Google Flight tap me on my shoulder and tell me, hey, they done dropped the flight prices over here on this trip you watching, I have the ability to purchase it.
Okay.
So that's one of the ways I finance that. When it comes to hotels, first of all, I'm going to compare hotels. I like to book the book now, pay laters, because I'm checking my hotel all the way until I leave. As long as that cancellation policy say I can cancel to the day before, you best believe I'm checking that hotel till it's time for me to get there, because you'll find a cheaper deal. If they get closer to the date and they don't have as many booked as they think, they'll offer a cheaper price. So I want to be right there to take advantage of that price because I deserve it. You know, that's what I deserve. I deserve cheaper prices for the same thing.
You deserve cheaper prices.
Yes, that's what I deserve. Yeah. And then the next thing I do is I don't buy a whole new wardrobe for every trip, because these people in these countries haven't seen me. They never seen this outfit. The people in Antigua did not see me when I was in St. Lucia. So I don't need to have a full website. I mean, a full wardrobe every time I travel. I actually have a pair of shorts that is like the sisterhood of the traveling shorts. These shorts are some pants that I bought from the thrift store. I'm talking in like 2000 something, like before 1920, like 2000 something. And I bought them a size bigger, took them to the cleaners and had them cut into shorts. I still wear these shorts to this day. They have been around the world. Now, who knows this is the same blue jean shorts that I had? They
Now,
just look like blue
why
jean
did you
shorts.
cut them? What made you cut them?
It fits me better. They were tailored to me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I want to check
I
out.
get compliments on them still. Like they're not 10, 15 years old.
I can imagine.
So let me show you. Okay, you going to Philadelphia. Well, you leave.
Well, I'm from Philly. You know that, right?
I know.
Right.
Philly tax team.
Yes, ma'am.
Click explore at the top.
Okay.
Zoom in. You see how I tell you how much the prices are depending on where you're going? Travel by deals, not destinations. So instead of you saying like, oh, I gotta go, I'm gonna have to go on Friday to Mexico on this date. No, let the flights. Okay, it looked like I'm going to Dallas. Oh, you know what? You might be going to Atlanta because Atlanta only 49, Orlando 58. That's how I choose where I'm going.
I mean, I've been dying to go to Houston. I just was in Dallas.
So if you go look to the left, it say 1 week trip in the next 6 months. If you click on that on the left hand side, now if you no, press go back.
Okay, I did it wrong.
So right there under Philadelphia, click that.
Oh, okay, right.
If you click that, you can adjust that. So if you got a specific time period, a specific month, or if you have specific dates that you want to travel, you can put them in there and it'll tell you the prices. So this is one of the ways I save money when I go to Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, deals and destinations, because it's Carnival. It's thousands. I mean, 50,000 people who go to Trinidad during Carnival season. Carnival it starts in like January and goes all the way until Ash Wednesday. So,
well, let me ask you this. Are you going to FinCon this year?
I have a ticket.
Well, you're there.
I know. I have a ticket to go to FinCon.
Okay, so I'm still on the fence about going to FinCon.
I am too. That's why I said I have a ticket.
So is it October or September?
It's October 23rd through 26th.
Okay, so the reason I asked about FinCon, everybody, is because me and Nia actually met
at FinCon.
So
yes,
we got a whole crew. We thick too, y'all. It's a bunch of great
crew.
Black
financial
financial
excellence.
Yes. So I'm still on the fence. I'm going to go or not. I don't know.
Same. I am too.
All right. So let's say October.
So what you want to do is, so say for example, I actually made a TikTok about this. When I was coming back from Trinidad, the flights were expensive to go one way. It was like $1,000 for me to go one way from Trinidad back to Atlanta. So what I did instead is I used that explore feature that I just showed you, and I put that I was leaving Trinidad, and I looked at the amounts for different islands around Trinidad because they don't have Carnival. So it's not an influx of people going to that destination. So instead of coming straight home, I went to Antigua. And
you balling. You balling.
No. Then from Antigua, I went to Wait, no. Let me finish.
Hold on. I gotta just let me get straight in my little pea brain. You was already on vacay.
No,
in Trinidad.
This is when I was planning the trip. I wasn't there yet.
Okay.
This is how I had to book my flight home. You know, typically when you go out of town, if you go out the country, if you book a one-way flight, you have to show your return ticket. So you can't just, you got to show that you're coming back. You're not, trying to leave. Okay. So what I did was I used that explore feature I told you about, and then I found that it was I think it was $300 or $400 to go to Antigua, and then it was like $200. No, I think it was $200 some to go to Antigua and $200 some to get back to Atlanta. So by going that way, I actually saved $400, $400 to $600 I saved. So that's why you like balling. Like, no, actually, I spent less doing that. And then my job then at that point is to make sure that my Airbnb doesn't go over, because that same $1,000 got me another destination, as opposed to spending that money just to come back from Trinidad to Atlanta.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So you play around with the explore feature and you'll actually save money. Mm-hmm.
So there's a trip to Atlanta for $79.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe this is in October, right?
I don't know. I can't see your screen.
Oh, oops. Oops. Oopsie.
Okay. So this is for Saturday, October 26th through Saturday, November 2nd. That's not the right time period.
Oh, dang it.
So you want to go to the top, to the arrow at the top left. Exactly. And then click that 1 week. Go to the top and click specific dates next to flexible dates. And then you're going to navigate the arrow, go down to the right, Yep. Nope. Come back.
That's it. Yep.
Correct. Navigate that to October.
And when is it? What is
the
it again?
23rd. It's the 23rd through the 26th are the dates of FinCon.
All right. So 2026. So it's a Saturday or Monday. What day is a better day to fly out? Saturdays or Mondays?
Well, that depends. I would say Saturday.
I meant to say Sunday or Monday.
Oh, Sunday or Monday. Typically, you might find a cheaper flight on Monday than you would on a Sunday. Because people, the people trying to get the weekend getaways. So they typically flying out Friday, coming back Sunday so they can go back to work on Monday.
Okay.
Now, right. the next part of this is actually looking at what flight it is, because,
Yeah, I can't do none of them other. A good friend of mine has a crazy story about Frontier.
I had actually never flown Frontier. Oh, I've been to the High Museum.
And there's a Frontier.
Exactly. That's why I say view flights. Click view flights.
Spirit. Have you flown Spirit? I haven't flown Spirit.
I've flown Spirit a lot. Like, I flew Spirit one time. I was living in Chicago at the time. I flew from Chicago to Puerto Rico, from Puerto Rico to Guatemala, from Guatemala back, all on Spirit. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's still, click view flights again on the left-hand side under Frontier.
Oh, it's not scrolling for me. Oh,
yeah.
I know what happened.
I was gonna say your mouse trying to block your blessings.
Okay, no, I had to shift it.
Okay, so scroll up.
Non-stop.
This the same one?
Yep.
I don't even what you do, exclude Frontier, because I don't even see the Frontier flights on here no more. They're up there. Gotcha. Yep. Okay. So see, look, and another thing too, you can play with it. So scroll up a little bit. No, not the actual flight. Scroll up the whole screen. Okay, so you see at the top where it says stops, airlines, bags, price, times, connection, airport. Like, you can use that to say, like, if you only need a nonstop flight, if you have an airline that you refuse to fly on, you can exclude it from your search. And then you could put, if you got to bring a carry-on on, and it'll tell you what the price is with a carry-on. See, you can put only, like, for those, a lot of people in Atlanta love them some Delta. They can put Delta only. And then you see where it says track prices, October 22nd through 28th. I
don't see track prices. Where is it at?
So looking at the box that you have, go to the left.
To the left.
Right, go back right there. Track prices. Right, go down.
There it is. Yep.
Yes. So if you toggle that, will email you whenever that flight price changes.
Oh, check that out.
It'll email you and let you know. Not only that, when you go look at it, it'll give you, like, if you want, I could share mine. It'll be like reading a stock chart. Show me. It'll show you the ebbs and flows of the flight, so you can get an idea of what a good price is for that flight.
Okay. Let's see this. I know You said it looked like a stock price.
It
Jeez.
does. It looks like a stock chart.
Oh, because I guess it's the price grid.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm,
see it now.
Hold on. Okay, let me come back. Share screen.
All right, for anybody who's new right now, don't know me from Pain because I've been off for a couple of weeks. I'm Kamari Ellis. This is the Finance Rebel Show. Every week we do a show, 8 p.m. We're talking about money, specifically for the Black community. So we talk about all things money, stock, business, economy, even travel a little bit, right? So we'll talk about going different places around the world as well because we live in a global economy now. So we got to be able to get money and make money anywhere.
So, this is an example of one of the flights that I have tracked. And so for me, the first thing I'm looking at is flight time.
Okay.
Because they'll have a flight that's cheap, but why am I taking why do I need 13 hours to get to Pittsburgh from Atlanta? Why? You know, so those type of things I look at. But to give you an example, track flight prices. Wait on it to populate. See? So it'll show you like this was $250. So if I would have bought this when I first was looking for this flight, look at this. It shows you, and then I do another thing too. You see how I have Monday to Wednesday. This one I got Monday to Thursday. You also, flexibility is important. So being flexible, being able to do things on different days and not having to stick to, oh, I have to go on Friday to Sunday. That's going to help you. Traveling on like midweek is excellent because, well, it's excellent too because it's less traffic, but it's also, you can find flights to be cheaper. So
Let me just supply and demand.
Absolutely. Come on.
Okay.
And so the other trick is like, so let's just say I have a specific destination and I have to go to this specific destination. I can go here. You see how it tells me how much it is on different days? So I can still choose my day. And this will tell you what's cheaper. So Friday is $129, is $90 on Saturday, it's $150 on Sunday, $159 on Monday. Now, if you go on Tuesday, it's going to drop down because Tuesday is not the typical day that people travel. It's past that weekend rush. Mondays are one of the worst days to look for flights because everybody gets to work on Monday and they all want to get the hell out of there and they look up flights to leave. So it's not a good day because it drives the demand up. But looking at this for anything, like, where you at? You at Philly? You say you want to travel. Delete that.
I do.
Okay.
I used to see the cheap tickets back in the day, $50 to go to Paris.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm going. I'm going over here because you could probably go somewhere over here at the same price you go to Miami.
Really?
Yes. Maybe not from Philly. Philly is not looking good. You got Marrakesh.
So let me guess, you probably got to leave out of Newark or Newark.
For you coming from Philly, possibly. Let's see. EWR. The funny part is I know all the airport codes. So looking at from Newark, they did drop some, but you know what's going to be better than Newark every day of the week? JFK. Look at that. 652. Like JFK going hands down. Or another thing that you want to think about too is jump off cities.
What's that mean, jump off city?
So a jump off city is, let me see. Dublin, Amsterdam, Moscow. Say for example, all that work and what did it get me? Say for example, you go to Paris because you caught a cheap flight to Paris. Then you leave from Paris to go somewhere else. So it's typically cheaper to travel inter-country. You see what I'm saying? So you get over there, maybe you get over there and it's not the specific destination you want to go to. You go see another country. So like maybe you really wanted to get to, I don't even know how to pronounce that, Yekaterinburg, but instead you fly to Barcelona because it was 7:15, and then you go from Barcelona to there. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And you may spend a day or 2 or 3 or whatever in Barcelona, then you go there because you have to travel for hours to get all the way over there. You might as well play around while you're there and see what you can hit. So like say, so kind of like I said with Trinidad. So I go to Trinidad and it has like this little strip of islands. So Trinidad is like in here. So, oh yeah, there you go, right there. So see,
Right at the top of Brazil.
$392 to get to Trinidad. But let me show you. POS. I feel like St. Lucia is expensive, but you see how Barbados dropped to $322 when you coming from Trinidad? So it makes more sense for you to go to Trinidad first, then go there, and not go to the most expensive first. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
The next thing you want to think about is stopover programs.
Well, hold on. Put a pin in that for 1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to say what's up to people.
Oh, go ahead.
I ain't been here in a while, so gotta be respectful. Gotta be respectful.
As you should.
All right. So hey, Lisa, welcome. She just got monetized. So again, I want to give you the horns for that. Congratulations. Now I think my last YouTube check was about $10. And it takes a while to get that money up. I got you. Can I send you in pennies? Can I pay you in nickels and pennies?
Hey, money is money. All coins matter.
Yes, they do.
Thank you.
Thank you for the sub. I don't know if you subbed me or if you subbed.
He's talking about me.
Okay. But I thought she came from your channel. Still Rocks is in the building. What's up, Still Rock?
Maybe she subbed to you. I don't know. Oh, she did come from my channel. Oh, right. Nice. Okay.
All right, what's up, Still Rocks? Good to see you, sir. Alrighty. Deals instead of destinations. That's what Nia said earlier.
Correct.
Ty Black, how are you, sir? Welcome. Now, listen, we're talking about travel, so let us know where have you traveled recently, or where do you plan to travel? Make sure you go ahead and throw that in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought you were saying something. Go ahead.
I was going to answer your question. I didn't know it was for the people listening.
No, well, what you got?
So I just came back from Guadalajara. I went from...
Now, where is that?
In Mexico. In Mexico.
Sí. Okay. All right.
So I went there in this month in May. Where have I been this year? This year I have been to Puerto Rico and Panama in January. Then, of course, Carnival. And then I went to Antigua in February. In March, I was actually home. In April, I went on a cruise.
Wait a minute. I'm seeing a pattern. So do you go somewhere once a month?
Kind of, sort of. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
But it's not even intentional. Like, it just happens to be that's how the dates fall. Because, like, the cruise, I was invited. It was a group trip. It was like 86 of us.
Wait a minute. Question. You said it's kind of not intentional.
Mm-hmm.
You paid your money. How is it not intentional?
Because having the dates so close together was not intentional. Because, like, I went for a cruise. Then I went to Miami for somebody's birthday. It happened to be like 1 week apart. Like, prime example, I'm going to a conference in July and then my goddaughter's birthday. Like, I come back, I'm here for like a day or two, and then I leave to go to my goddaughter's birthday. Like, it's not intentional for the dates to be close together, but that's just how the dates end up falling sometimes.
But how far in advance are you planning these?
So Carnival is a year. Carnival takes a full year.
And you do that every year, so that's a known.
Yeah, I'm actually not doing it next year.
Really? Why?
Because I have to be an adult. I just relocated to another state, and then I purchased a home after.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So, I have to be an adult. I got to recoup that money, and I would have already had my airfare and my accommodations for Carnival and be preparing to put the deposit on my costume.
Okay.
And so that money I'm using towards my goals. I'm walking like I talk it.
Walking like I talk it.
Walking like I talk it.
Got me singing Egos. Okay. All right. So tell me about this before we go back and look at the flight. Because I thought about creating a separate account where I put some money in it every week or every month, whenever. When did you start that? How often do you fund that? Not to get too much in your business, but
Mhm.
do you have like a certain level you got to get to before you book something or do something, and then you use that
It's
money for
kind of like,
everything?
so you talk to a lot of real estate investors, right?
I do.
What does it take for them to open their wallet?
That's a trick question.
A good deal.
Yeah, but
Like
that's
a
a
good
trick
deal.
question. Don't give
Like
me.
like my mentor, he will tell you he broke all day long, but give him a deal that matches his goals as far as cash flow or whatever it is, he'll find some money.
So it doesn't matter what's in the fund. You might throw it on credit if it's a good deal.
And then pay it off. It just depends. But
Okay.
typically it's coming out the fund because typically a lot of my stuff is planned as a single mother. I'm just in the habit of planning and I don't really do last minute. Like this Guadalajara trip is the most last minute trip I think I've ever done. And I probably planned it in 2 months, but I used points when I stayed at the hotel. So I didn't have to pay for my hotel. I had a Valaris all you can fly plan. So my flight was cheaper. You see what I'm saying? So it's like
I don't know what Valaris is. I'm ignorant.
Valaris is a Mexican airline.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and they had this pass that they came out with last year in June that it was like $2.99 and you could fly as much as you want to, but I didn't get a chance to because when I purchased it, I had no idea that I was about to relocate. Like all of that happened really fast. So it is about to expire and I had never used it.
Now, is that just in Mexico, or you can
They
travel
go to
anywhere?
El Salvador. They go to Guatemala. I think they go to certain places, but they don't fly out of Atlanta. They fly a lot out of Chicago. They don't fly out of Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
like I said, I was living in Chicago when I purchased it. So that's one of those financial faux pas. Like, it is what it is. So I got my one flight in. I got my money's worth.
I got you. I got you.
What's the bear airline just to travel in the States? Well, see, that's going to depend because most airlines have routes. So like you'll find that it's a flight from Spirit from Atlanta to Chicago. I think it leaves like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. That's their flight every day. So if you have something specific you're trying to do or you're trying to get there by a certain time, me personally, when I'm going out the country, I like to get there early. So I'm on that 5 a.m. flight getting out because I want all my minutes, all of them. So it's going to depend. It depends on where you're going, where you're coming from. Personally, me, I like to be by hubs. So like I left Chicago, I came to Atlanta. So typically they're going to have more flights than a smaller airport. If you stay near a smaller airport, it might be more beneficial financially to go to the biggest airport near you and fly out of their airport and use like their park and fly or whatever the case may be, as opposed to like if you lived in Milwaukee, people who live in Milwaukee, they do better to go to out of O'Hare. They'll find way better flight deals and save hundreds of thousands over the time. So it's more because Milwaukee is maybe an hour and a half from Chicago. So they could drive an hour and a half, park their car, and get on a flight. It'd still be way cheaper than if they would have bought the flight out of Milwaukee because O'Hare is an international hub. A lot of foreign airlines fly there. You know what I mean? So it just depends. It's not a straight cut answer. Oh, you in New York? Oh, you in the best place to be in. I promise you, if New York did not get weather like Chicago, I would move to New York. New York gets some of the best flight deals. I sometimes fly to New York to fly out of New York. Like, how I went on that Europe trip last year?
No, I didn't know you, because I was going to ask. It seems like most of your stuff is in the Western Hemisphere. So you do go over there.
Yes. So I did like a 5-country trip last year in September over in Europe. And I flew to New York and flew out of New York to get there because I found a $200 flight from JFK to Heathrow, not to Heathrow, to Gatwick in London. $200.
Wow. Okay.
So it was cheaper for me to fly to New York because Chicago to New York, again, is the place that has a lot of flights going out. You're in the best place, TB, to fly out of. And you can add Newark on there too, EWR. You can add that to your list of airports. He laughing. You can add EWR. Newark is another place you could fly out of when you.
Now, I just flew out of Newark earlier. I went to the Dominican Republic. Very interesting. Very interesting. They don't make you take your shoes off at that airport. All the other ones do. I don't get it.
They don't make you?
They didn't. I was happy about it.
I would say I don't take my shoes off anyway.
Really?
I have pre-check. I don't take my shoes off.
See, okay, you're gonna have to school me.
I have pre-check and global entry, so I don't take my shoes off, and I don't wait in long lines when I come back in the country. I'm right behind the flight crew. Like I'm right behind the flight attendant and the pilot, because I travel out of the country too much. Before the pandemic, I rarely traveled domestically. I typically travel because the prices would be the same. You know, flight prices were much cheaper pre-pandemic. And it was like $100 to Miami or $100 to Jamaica. I'm gonna choose Jamaica.
All right, so let's say a first-time traveler, first time out of the country. Where would you recommend for them to go? And I know it's, it'll vary, but what would you recommend?
So if you are a foodie, I'm going to suggest a Latin country, Mexico, Colombia, places like that. Is that you? That's you? Oh no, that's me. Let me close
That's you.
Yeah, let me close that.
But that was probably your tickets.
No, that's a messenger. But yeah, so I would say Latin America, Mexico is a vibe. Of course, as you go, if you're a first-time traveler going out of town, be vigilant. Be vigilant in another country like you would if you lived in the hood.
What do you mean by be vigilant? Break that down.
Like, don't be out getting overly drunk. Don't wear a lot of super flashy jewelry to make it, you know what I mean? To put a target on yourself. You have to be mindful that just like we have people struggling here because resources are being removed, you have people in other countries with resources being removed, but theirs is a little bit rougher than here. And they know you're a tourist. They can spot you as a tourist easily. One, by the shoes you have on. Typically, we as Americans, our shoes are going to be way more expensive than theirs. They can spot us. I don't care if you're from there, but you're visiting, they can spot you. So when you wear a lot of flashy jewelry or different things like that, it can make you a target in some places. So, and even if you do, like, don't make yourself like be out at night as a female, because I travel solo also. So I'm aware of my surroundings. I'm paying attention. I'm not like where I'm scared and I have to watch, but I'm paying attention. I'm not out late at night, 9, 10 o'clock. I'm not getting in any random cars. When I first arrive at any country, wherever I'm staying at, I'm going to ask them how much is a typical taxi. I'm going to ask them how much is a typical taxi to get from the airport to you, so that when you get out there at the airport, they, what I call is the American tax. When that American accent start flowing out your mouth, the price get up.
Got him.
Yeah, exactly. Because they just see us as having money. So I typically will ask them before I get there. So when somebody tell me something crazy, I'm like, and typically if you walk off and confident in walking off because they'll bring the price down, or they'll ask you, well, what do you want me to charge? And I'm like, well, my friend are here and they came here and they only paid this much. And they're like, okay, $25. Like, but they're gonna try to get you initially, because a lot of people just say okay and get in the cab because they have no idea. They don't know any better. So if you stand at a hotel, message them. You stand at an Airbnb, message them. Ask them how much is a cab typically.
Okay, so number one, no jewelry.
You can wear jewelry.
Wear dirty
bobo. Out there in no carrots and blinged out. Don't be blinding the people. Don't be out in the other country blinding the people. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That is not the time to wear your Cartier watch. Leave him at home. Let him take a rest, But of course, if you stay at a luxury resort and you're not planning to leave off the resort, you will be, a little bit safer. But I
always think that's a waste though. I've been to some resorts in the Bahamas.
Yeah, I don't really care for resorts. Yeah, I don't really.
I want to go see the people.
Exactly.
I
I
will
typically
see.
stay in the Airbnb. The only way I'm staying in a resort typically is if it's a group trip and it's like whoever is the host of the trip. Like I'm going to the Dominican in August. We're staying at a luxury resort. I would have never picked it, but that's where the group is going. So
Where
that's
y'all
where
going in the DR?
Punta Cana.
Punta Cana. Okay.
Mhm.
Nice, nice. I enjoyed it while I was there. I enjoyed it.
I went there for my 30th birthday, actually.
Okay. What was the best place or your favorite place you've ever traveled to? Belize.
Belize. I'm gonna say
Really?
Belize every time. I love Belize.
What was so special about Belize?
I feel
You
at
like
home.
Mexico, so that's right next door.
I like Mexico because I practice my Spanish in Mexico. That's why I like Mexico. Mexico is a vibe. I love Mexican food.
They don't speak Mexican and no, I said Mexican. They don't speak Spanish in Belize.
So they do speak Spanish in parts of Belize, but the Belizeans I'm with are the African descendants that settled in Belize. So they are not speaking. They're speaking like an African language. They're called Garifuna people, and they settled there. November 19th is actually their settlement day, and they settled in the southern coast of Belize. So no, they don't speak Spanish. Not the Belizeans I be with. And then that the language of Belize is English.
Okay. Okay. You'll have to put me down with that. That is something I'll be definitely interested in.
Yes, look up the Garifuna people.
I mean, I've heard of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
I don't know any, but I've heard of them. All right. So what we got?
Flights.
All right. What's the websites to book good flights? We were just on here.
That's okay. I showed them.
Okay.
I typed it in there. Google Flights. So Google Flights.
Let's go back to Google.
The best website. So you can go to so if you're traveling internationally, I would say Momondo.
All right, what's Momondo?
Momondo. It's like a whole new language.
Momondo. Travel. Okay.
But I would get the price off Momondo, but book directly with the carrier. Do not book on Momondo.
Why is that?
Because you want to book directly with the airline, not with some third party. Because if something happens, the airline gonna be like, I can't help you. You go back to who you booked with.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So you look on here just to see the flights and be able to compare the flights. But when you're actually traveling, you go directly. So even if you own Google Flights, you look at them to see the price. But once you find a flight you like, it's going to be options at the bottom. Click the actual carrier. One, you can build points. Two, you're going to get better service when you book directly with them, with the hotel, with the airline. Whenever, if anything happens, and travel insurance. I personally buy an annual travel insurance plan. So that way, just all my trips are covered, and you want to make sure they have like evacuation if you need to be flown back to the States if something happened. Like I've known people who flown off ATVs before, head first, people who went off a cliff in Panama. So like things happen. But you see how you look and it shows you, it'll tell you like what's the fastest flight, what's the cheapest flight, what's the shortest direct flight, what's, you know what I mean? If you're flexible, that's why I like them, because they break it down in those different categories. And then you see, you go down there and you have Royal Air, you will go directly to their website and book that flight. Okay. Don't book it with whoever them people are. Yeah, book direct, because then you can build points. And then you will not build a relationship like they're a bank, but it's just better if something happened. If something happened, or like say anything you happen, they're gonna say, oh, well, go back to that third party that you booked with. And a lot of time the customer service on a lot of those they're not given.
It's not given. Gotcha.
No, a lot of the websites and things like that, they don't want you to ever call them for anything. They just want you to spend your money with them.
You got a favorite airline?
No, I'm loyal to my wallet.
You don't care about who you have the most points with?
No, I'm loyal to my wallet. The best thing for you to do, like if you're worried about having points, then get you credit cards that build points, but you don't have to be loyal to a specific airline. You have a card that you build points on.
Okay. American Express, Chase. Black cards. I'm sure you got them all.
So I don't, because as I said, I filed bankruptcy. I filed bankruptcy in 2014. It takes 10 years for a bankruptcy to come off your credit. Amex and Chase automatic denial if you have a bankruptcy on your credit. Okay. So I don't have those.
And I didn't know that.
So that's why I have to be very creative and save and do all those things. But January 2025, I will arrive.
You're right there. You're knocking on the door.
December 2024 is when it should come off my credit. They do have reconsideration lines and things like that, but I'm like, I got a couple months. I'll be all right.
You're not pressed.
No, I'm not pressed. It's not like I'm not traveling, like I can't get nowhere without it. You know, I have credit cards with nice balances. It's just not those two that has the best point systems.
So, but how do you do it? How do you fund your fund? Do you say I'm gonna put $50 a month in or $25 a month in?
So the way that I funded my fund is 2017, the same year that I started my business, I started a second job. And during the pandemic, while most people I don't know what they was doing, so I can't even say, I was paying off my debt. So I took like 2 years, paid off about $50,000 in debt. So that kind of gave me, like I tell people, when you pay off debt, you give yourself an automatic pay raise. That pay raise, that's my travel fund. Not all of it, of course. I invest and, savings, retirement, but that's how I was able to do savings fund. I mean, a travel fund. So I have it in a separate account. It's called my Carmen Sandiego fund, because that's what people call me, Carmen Sandiego. And I put money there. So I have a set amount there, but sometimes I can do extra. Like if I do a focus group, or things like that, or you know how sometimes you may have something happen where you get extra money. Ideally, what my plan is going forward, like once January gets here, my plan is to shift my cards. Like I just bought my house, so I'm not really working on my credit. So I already know what cards I'm going to drop, and I'm going to get them. I'm going to get them first, of course, and then drop. Because another thing is, Chase has that 5 rule. I think it's the 5-1 rule. What is it? Well, you can't apply for 5 cards. It's the 5-2 rule. So in the past 2 years, applying a Chase card, you can't have applied for 5 other cards.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's called the 5-2 rule. So within the 2 years before applying to Chase, you can't have applied to 5 cards. They don't want you out here applying. They don't want you. It won't exclusively. You want them. Don't be out here in
credit
applying for just anybody.
They don't want you credit on.
Exactly. So that's my goal then. And then I'm going to shift what cards I have. I'm going to drop like one card I got right after my bankruptcy. It was a secured card for $600. I had to send a deposit. Do you know they still haven't raised my limit?
Did they give you your money back?
Great. No, that's what I'm saying. They haven't raised my limit, haven't changed it from being a secured card. They're the first ones to go. And I just asked them recently, and that's what they said, because I have derogatory statements on my credit, which I know they're talking about the bankruptcy. But it's like, bro, I've paid you on time for like 8 to 9 years, never missed a payment.
Now, why would they be the first one to go? Because I'm assuming they have the longest credit history, positive credit history.
Well, they don't have the longest. I have another one. I did 2 cards. So after my bankruptcy, I did 2 cards. I did one for 500, one for 600. The one for 500, it's in the thousands now.
Oh, so they treat you
better.
They
got my money back. They consistently raise it. It's just.
I got you.
It's giving, why are you here?
I get it.
So it's like, I'm okay with taking that small hit. So I'm going to get my cards, and then I'm going to build up the credit, get past my, what do I call it? Your honeymoon phase of having credit the first 2 to 3 years, and build it. So once I get to that point, they out of here. Especially if they haven't raised me till this 600, like it's the principality to me. You know what I'm saying? It's the principality. Like, bro, I paid you on time, never been late in all these years, and you denied me still. Yeah, they don't need to be in my wallet. They don't need to be making any money off me.
I got you. Mm-hmm. Now, when you're traveling, do you ever think about any money or business opportunities? Oh,
always. Business opportunities, relocation opportunities. real
So you
estate
gonna relocate? You thinking
opportunity.
about relocate?
We just said we want to be nomads.
I mean, I didn't know what type of nomad you were thinking about.
I want to be a nomad. Like I want to retire in another country.
Oh, so you want to be full expat
Mm-hmm.
any particular country?
Belize. I
Belize,
think
okay.
the hints were there.
I mean, just checking, just checking.
I'm just messing with you.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Because I do know of several people, black people, going to Mexico and Playa
Merida.
del Carmen.
Well, Merida. It's a lot in Merida too.
Merida, okay.
And
But I'm
Merida.
hearing about a lot of black expat communities. And
I know black expats in Colombia, Mexico, South Africa, Portugal, Panama. I know because I travel a lot. I know a lot of black expats. They've been gone long. One of my good friends, he's been in Medellin probably about 3-4 years now. Got him a little girlfriend and living his best life.
don't tell me your passport, bro.
No, got him. I said girlfriend.
Listen,
like they together, not him
So-
down there just trying to sleep with her. They
yeah,
together.
but going to the DR, I met some passport bros. So,
I'm sure you did go to Colombia. That's the.
well, I heard it there too.
I was gonna say when you go to Colombia, you're gonna see a lot of groups of men in the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's
A lot of-
it's interesting. I mean, I kind of get it, but I don't.
But you
at the
know
same
why
time.
though, right?
There's a couple of reasons why. I know why you're probably going to say why. Because
Go
it's
ahead.
cheaper there.
No, that's not what I was gonna say.
Oh, what were you going to say?
Prostitution is legal in
Well,
Colombia.
that's what I was going to say when I meant cheaper. But okay,
Legal mean gratis.
I got you. I mean that's a thing too. That's a thing too.
Yeah, so you know.
Yeah,
But again, you just got to be careful. I got tips for passport bros too.
what you got? Tips for passport
So
bros. It's a
typically,
great
when you
segment.
go to Colombia, the best place for you to stay, they have these different like high-rise buildings that have doormans downstairs. Anybody who's interested building has to, and a lot of them are Airbnbs, but anybody who enters the building has to show their ID. You're less likely to get drugged at a property like that because whoever's coming with you, they have to show their ID also. They make everybody who comes in their first time show their ID. So they're less likely to drug you because they can actually get caught because they had to show documentation coming in. Somebody saw their face. They know they're on camera, all of those things. Because yes, it is legal, but when they drug a tourist and, you know, people have died because they overdosed them, or I don't know if they gave them too much of it, but they have this drug they give. I could probably Google it, but it makes you do what they tell you to do. And then,
damn.
yeah, you do what they tell you to do.
And I'm guessing they drugged them to rob them.
Yes, but the problem is you have to do what they tell you to do. So you pull the money out your account yourself. So when it comes to talking to your bank, you did it.
Yeah, but that's still under duress, so it's still robbery.
And you sleep, you sleep, and then you wake up. But how? Prove it.
It's not about proof. I'm just saying that's what happened.
But no, the bank is going to do an investigation, so prove it.
But I'm not talking about an investigation. I'm talking about just like I'm from Philly. There's a lot of people that get robbed at the ATM at gunpoint.
So no, this is not at gunpoint.
I know,
this
but
is not under duress.
It's still technically duress. I got what you're saying, though. It's hard to prove.
Exactly.
I got you. I got you.
And so what they do is they go to sleep, and then you wake up like days later. And then when you wake up, it takes you a while to even realize, you know, what has happened. So I can't remember the name of it, but if I Google it, like I've Googled it before. And
well, no, please Google it. We need to know.
Okay.
All right. Shout out to Lawrence, the neighborhood finance guy, the host of the Finance Griot. What you mean about I'm out? Like I was in jail or something?
It's Burundanga. Is Burundanga.
Say that again. Burundanga.
Burundanga. See. Mm-hmm. It's called the Devil's Breath.
So stay away from
It says in South America, particularly Colombia, where it is known as Burundanga, there are countless reports of users being coerced into carry out criminal acts after being spiked with the drug. And typically, like it happens to a lot of men, because what they do is when you are walking down the street, like just the same way a man can sense, insecurity on a woman, like a dog can sense fear, they can sense the same on a man. So when you're walking down the street, they're like, hola, you know, and they can tell by your response to that if you're used to getting that type of attention or not. You see what I'm saying?
So if you don't like, say hola, ¿cómo está?
Or if you brighten up, like, oh my God, like she talking to me, got him. So it has been plenty of stories, but when they get to the point where they kill a tourist, then the government steps in, like, look, so we messing up our money.
Yeah, but it's too late then, at least for that person.
Yeah, but they know after a while, you know, it's gonna die down and people are not gonna talk about it no more, and people gonna come back. So they gotta calm down so that they can let the heat cool off, because they don't want to ruin tourism.
So should I wait to travel after I see somebody has died? So like, do I need to set an alert for that? Sorry,
no, you don't. You need to just be vigilant. Don't be out there tricking. Don't drink any drinks that somebody else gave you. Like the same thing, the same way you would be vigilant here in the States, you don't drop that because you leave the country. You keep it.
Okay. Listen, I almost got locked up in the Dominican Republic.
What did you do?
It's not that I did anything. I was there on a Sunday. There was an election there.
It was a joke.
No. I was going to tell a story anyway.
Yeah, tell the story.
But I was at a bar and there was supposed to be no liquor sales. Actually, it's a pizza shop. That was a bar as well. Mm-hmm. So the cops rolled through and they was like, hide your stuff. They started throwing out drinks. It was interesting. It was interesting.
So Lawrence is saying under the influence can be under duress. How do you know you were under the influence? You just woke up. You don't know what happened.
Oh,
I know what happened because I've had people from Colombia tell me. You as the victim, you don't know that you were under the influence to say that.
You figured out at some point.
You know is that you had a drink with somebody. It's going to take a while before you realize that how long it's been. You see what I'm saying? You just waking
Once
up.
They see your bank account is empty.
That's when you realize something happened.
Yeah, like, oh, sucks.
You got to put the pieces. But then you got to admit you was out in Colombia with some prostitute.
But they couldn't just be on a date, though?
In Colombia, depends on their situation at home.
You said your friend has a girlfriend there.
He lived there. He's not out there with these girls. He got a real girlfriend. They've been together for years. But I'm talking about somebody traveling and being there. They could have a wife at home, a girlfriend at home. If they do, they're going to be less likely to go public about out being in them Colombian streets. I used to work at a spa. We used to have plenty of men who wouldn't allow you to even save the name of the person they were coming to the spa with because they didn't want no mix-ups of accidentally calling nobody's wrong name. So we would have to put them in as such and such guest.
Okay, Nia, you got a spicy background. Tell us more.
Like, things happen.
So any other advice for Passport Bros?
No other advice for Passport Bros. Just be mindful. Same thing they tell women. Watch your drinks. Watch what they're doing. Get RFID blocking wallets, cards, things like that.
Okay. Now,
stop when you being able to scan your cards.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Yes, I have one of those.
I do too. I got a card and the wallet. And what I have too, so in some countries, it's really big on pickpocketing. I have a fanny pack, but it's very flat and it can go under my shirt, like where I could walk and you won't have a clue that I have it on at all. And for ladies, they have bra wallets that you put in it on the side of your bra. So same thing, nobody will know. And in Colombia, do not walk with your phone in your hand or your back.
Why is that?
Because they snatch them.
Okay.
Or like if you're in the car and they're on a motorcycle, they'll snatch them through the window and drive off on a motorcycle. Like say you in a front car like this in the passenger seat, and you at a stop sign and with them, they'll snatch it and drive.
Got him. Got you.
Because you're not catching them in the little motos.
I mean, you don't even know where to go.
Exactly.
I mean, when I was in the DR, they had plenty of everybody had a moped or a motorcycle.
Everybody, same thing in Colombia. Yep. They be, man, in the DR though, it'd be like the whole family.
Listen, I saw somebody with a daggone refrigerator on a
Talk about them skills to pay the bills.
yeah,
baby.
talk about the ultimate balance.
Yes.
On a moped, they had like a refrigerator. It was like 4 of them on some of them joints. It's like, damn, how y'all do that? Okay.
My other travel tip, what I was gonna say was my stopover programs.
Tell me about it.
So some airlines have stopover programs like Iceland Air, Copa Airlines, TAP Portugal, KLM. So KLM has a free stopover in Amsterdam. Copa has a free stopover in Panama. So essentially you can go to another country for free. Like you won't have to pay for an additional flight. So like, for example, when I said I went to Europe, when I was coming back, I was going to go to Iceland, but then I ended up using TAP Portugal's stopover program. So from Barcelona, I came back to Chicago and I stopped in Portugal, but I didn't have to pay to stop in Portugal. I paid the same price as if I was going straight to Chicago. And you could stop in there for a few days. They'll tell you how long you're allowed to stop there, but essentially basically allows you to stop in another country.
Bless you.
For free. Thank you. For free. It lets you stop in another country for free. It's great to use. It's great to be able to see another country. Panama has it. So I've used it a lot of times coming back from Trinidad, taking Copa, stopping in Panama for a few days, coming back. So you just really just paying for your accommodations, excursions. Yeah. Okay. But it saves you money because a lot of times the flight is, a big part of your expense.
Okay.
And I just personally feel like if I'm traveling far or I'm going so many hours, I'm not just going to one country. I'm over there. I'm going to make time to go to multiple because it's going to be more cost effective for me to travel to the other ones while I'm already on that side of the world.
So when you're traveling, are you working as well?
I don't bring laptops with me on vacation.
Oh man.
I don't. I told you my boundaries was as strong as the Berlin Wall. I don't.
See, I think I'm gonna have to work on some of these.
If I'm traveling domestically, depending on the trip, like going to Chicago, yes, I'm gonna bring my laptop. I'm gonna work. I'm going on a country like a vacation. My laptops will be right here. They will not be traveling with me. It's a vacation.
But what if so again, when I went to the Dominican Republic, it was during the start of tax season. Now most tax accountants don't go out.
I was just about to say that was your fault for traveling during tax season. You should be scheduled at the end.
No. Hell with that.
I'm just giving you mess.
Nope. I think because there's some other friends and other tax accountants. They do a trip every year during tax season. Because here's the thing, one of the reasons
block the calendar off for them days and give your clients deadlines. And if they don't adhere to the deadlines.
Correct. But also you can work at a remote location.
You don't have to. No, you don't have to.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind working. It was cool. It was cool.
Okay, we'll talk about that off. We'll talk about that off.
Listen, I was working in paradise.
Nah, exactly.
Cool with that.
That shit don't even go together. That don't even sound right.
Y'all hear cussing at me, y'all? I got it round up.
That's an oxymoron.
It is not.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
How is it paradise if you're working? I do not compute.
You can't work in paradise?
No, you ain't hear Eartha Kitt. I assure you, darling, I don't dream of work. Ain't no dream job.
But I'm okay with that. I would rather work in paradise than work in my dungeon of an office.
No, not me. I'd rather enjoy paradise and take that moment and relax and clear my head so that my head is refreshed when I return back to my dungeon.
You can do that too. But if I'm traveling during high demand time and I I got laptops.
I typically block my calendar off. So that's another good part of planning. All my trips I have this year, my calendar is blocked off. So somebody making an appointment with me or anything, they can't make it on those days because I blocked the whole day off from the day before to the day after.
I hear you.
I do it at work too because I still have a 9 to 5. I block their calendar off too. Don't put no appointments on my calendar those days because you won't talk to me.
I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it.
And that's fine. That's your prerogative. To me, it's blasphemous. We just have a different, we have different opinions. That's all. I've worked hard, baby. And I'm not saying it to say like you haven't worked hard, but for probably 10, 15 years, I worked 2 and 3 jobs. I worked 2 jobs while I was going to get my master's. I worked at a post office and didn't have off that 6 days a week for 6.5 years, sometimes 7, 8 days. Then I get an off day, then start back up. Baby, Hazel is dead.
Who?
Hazel.
Who's Hazel?
An old slave. It's a phrase to basically say like I'm done with that part of my life, dragging myself into the ground. I've worked alone. I've worked multiple jobs, 10 to 15 years. I'm good on bringing my laptop with me. To save time, do you pay extra to check in the hotel? Well, see, that's where booking directly with the hotel helps you. As you continue to book with them, you build loyalty and rewards, and they'll give you those things automatically. Another thing is you have a thing called Resort Pass. Resort Pass is you can book a day at a hotel, possibly use their spa. Like, okay, prime example, when I went to Guadalajara, I went to Miami and I had like a 6 or 7 hour layover because I was taking 2 different airlines. I went on Resort Pass and I think it might have been a Hilton that was local. They had a pool with a whirlpool. So I booked a Resort Pass. It was like $35 and I got basically 3-4 hours to be there. And the hotel had an airport shuttle. So essentially got to the airport, took the shuttle to the hotel, enjoyed, relaxed, got in the pool, worked out, and then came back to the airport. So look up Resort Pass. There is also another one you can do where different hotels also will like let you pay for hours there. So like same thing, say you're only going to be somewhere for a short period of time, you can get it for cheaper than spending the whole night there. You said let's try urban pay. No, what you can do also is say you get there very early. You can leave your bags at the hotel. So whenever you have a room booked with a hotel, they'll hold your bags. So you can drop your bags off that day and then get them later or leave them there all day and come back when it's time to check in. And you could plan your day like that. So essentially you got options on what you can do when you get there early.
Exciting. Now look at that. You saw that? That was paradise. That was paradise.
It was. See,
but not for you.
No, it was paradise.
But I'm saying not for you though.
Not if work is involved. Well, see, it's paradise, and then when you introduce work to the equation, the lines get blurry.
The lines get blurry.
Yeah, work is not paradise for me personally.
Came home and ended up in ICU.
See, what you're not working?
No, I was working.
What was you doing?
I was working.
Making content?
I was on my laptop. I was
using your laptop.
I was doing research.
That's why you look like you're frowning. You're not smiling. It's because your laptop working.
Probably.
Yep. See.
Probably.
Turn that frown upside down.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
That's all right. Live.
Oh man.
Any other questions? I hope people learn some stuff. I hope what I've shared.
No, I'm gonna have you back. We're gonna talk about this some more.
Okay. Well, I mean, if we looking for other topics, I do know Spanish, but I learned it also, like I said, traveling. So
all right, that's a question.
My Spanish teacher is from Colombia. I went and met her and spent time in Colombia with her, and we went to Bogota and we went all around. It was kind of like a advanced level
Because you immersed
field trip.
yourself.
Correct, like an advanced level field trip. And then when I took my friends to Colombia, because I took them like a group trip, she came and hung with us.
So when's the next group trip?
I don't know. We're thinking about doing Panama or Guadalajara, because I really like Guadalajara. He said, come back, please. Make sure you go like and subscribe to my channel.
Yes. Now, Nia's been here before. Nia's a friend to the channel. She's the homie. So, yeah, she pulls.
Yeah, like we talk in real life, right?
yeah, true. We talk
That's
about
why
it.
I bother him. That's why I mess with him like that.
She does more than bother me, y'all. It's kind of like abuse. She'll hop out and cuss me out in a heartbeat to be laughing the next.
Yeah, sounds about that. That's me. If I'm nice to you all the time or I'm quiet, I don't really like you.
Damn.
I'm just being honest. If I'm quiet around you or I have short answers, I don't like you.
Oh, wow. So why not just avoid the person all around?
Because sometimes you have to be in spaces with people that you don't care for. I'm not going to not go enjoy myself or act like I'm in high school. Oh, I can't go because they're going to be there. So sometimes you end up in rooms with people that you don't care for. I could be cordial, like I'm an adult.
I try to avoid people I don't care for.
I do too. I literally block them out of my life. But I mean, like you might go to a conference. You might go, you know what I mean? I'm not going to go to a conference that I'm going to learn and enhance my business or myself with because this person is there. No, I'm going to still go to the conference.
I guess.
We can agree to disagree again. Thank you,
well,
TV. Thank you.
There's really nothing to disagree with. Okay. Now, what is your YouTube channel?
It is Money Perspectives with the @ symbol.
With the @ symbol.
I hope you follow me.
I do follow you, but I can't.
Okay, just checking. Just checking.
Oh, there it is. Yes, I follow you.
Okay, good. Just checking.
Are you kidding me?
We need to get to some subscribers.
Well, listen, you wanted to start taking my advice.
I am actually. Me and Anthony recorded re-recorded a video Mondays for me to release.
Okay.
So I am working. Yeah, I am. It's about self-care. It's about balancing self-care on a budget, and he gives tips for men, and I give tips for women.
Okay. All right. I got some ideas for you.
Oh, I can show you. When we get off here, I'm going to show you how much
I believe you, woman. I believe you.
I got a list of 100 ideas.
Okay, good. All right, but listen, if you enjoyed Nia, she is a wealth of knowledge. Make sure you're going over to our YouTube page, Nia's Perspective, and hit the subscribe button, y'all.
Right, and you see right there, it says @Money Perspectives.
Yep, she dropped gems. Gems.
Yes.
All right, so I got to start booking my next trip.
You should. I want to go to. So at first, the group trip was going to be to Africa.
So my goal. I tell everybody, my first trip across the Atlantic, I have to stop in Africa first, preferably.
What part do you want to go to?
Ghana. Accra.
Yeah. Okay, right. I saw you search that. The same thing. I want to go to a lot of parts. I want to go to Ghana, Kenya.
I think it's disrespectful if you go anywhere else and you don't go home first. I
don't know because they prices and flight times.
I know, but it's the symbolism of it. You know, I can't go to.
I've been to Africa.
There you go.
Technically,
where?
Egypt.
I saw Egypt.
Yeah, I've been to Egypt. Yeah,
that picture was awesome.
I love that picture. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you being here. You have given me the battery in my back. I'm going to find some other people who are travelers and expats to come on the show too.
That's the advice right there.
What?
You can look for other people to travel, but sometimes you won't find said people, or you will find said people all the way up until the first payment is due. And
I'm not worried about that
point. A lot of times you lose those people, so be okay.
No, listen. Mar is always okay with being with Mar.
Okay, good.
That's not a problem. That's not a problem at all.
Like, you talk by yourself? Yep, absolutely, and do. I don't have to worry about pleasing nobody else. I can change my mind if I want to.
Yep.
I don't have to worry about coordinating anything, somebody else's schedule, and I can do whatever I want to do.
That's
and
the
I
benefit.
get to spend time with myself.
That's right. That's the benefit of being an only child. I know how to be with me.
Oh, see, I'm not an only child. I'm actually the youngest.
Okay. Well, I wasn't blessed like that. It's just me, myself, and I.
Well, that could have been a blessing.
We'll see. We'll see. The way my parents are aging, though, I don't know. It's just me. And they don't be listening.
Oh, yes, hard raising parents. That's a whole nother life.
Yeah, they don't be listening, but it is what it is.
Not hard-headed as ever.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, all right, Nia, I appreciate you being here. I will be back next week, folks, next Wednesday, 8 p.m. for the Finance Rebel Show. What do y'all want to know about, though? That is something I've been doing. I talk about all things money, taxes, stocks, business, but I want to know what you want to learn about. What do you want to hear from me about? So be sure to drop a comment in the comment section telling me what you want to learn about. But until the next time, y'all have a great evening. So long.